Well, welcome back, everybody, to our live stream here at Robotics Alley. This is the Virtual Policy Forum. So, Mac, that was actually the perfect segue. We have not practiced this. But since Recon is one of the real leaders, both of the event as well as in the industry in general, can you talk a little bit about the evolution of the company and how you've gone through all these cycles that are going on all around us with where robotics and technology are leading?
Sure. The company started as a result of a grant from DARPA to the University of Minnesota back in the early 2000s, and the engineers there built a very cool product that the military wanted to buy a lot of, but the university didn't want to be in the manufacturing business. So the engineers from University of Minnesota established a company to begin building these products, and that evolved. They finally sort of got the products commercialized, and in about 2007, and the company took off from there, supplying robots to the U.S. military, and through then about 2012 was going like mad. And at that point, it was basically on the strength of the orders from the U.S. military, and when President Obama decided that they should withdraw rapidly from Iraq and Afghanistan, the company was left with some unfilled orders. Okay. And a sizable amount of inventory prepared for continue supplying those robots. Mm-hmm. And that begot a series of events for the company that required a reorganization. And I'm the kind of guy that gets called in when the company has some troubles that need to be managed. Sure. And so in 2015, I arrived and we restructured the company in 2015, successfully negotiated with creditors to relieve the company of the debts, relieve the company of the obligations that were looming over, both real ones and some that were contingent, called contingent liabilities. Mm-hmm. And we successfully navigated that. We got the company reorganized and have refocused then on becoming actually a profitable company. And now, for the last 2 years, we've been profitable. And have been able to reinvest in we've added back people. We had pretty much had to cut things to the bone. Sure. And after that, then we got to begin rebuilding, and the rebuilding effort is going very well. There, in this sort of in the policy world, if this is about policy, with law enforcement and the military being our primary users, our primary customers, our products are there to help save their lives. And every day our products are being used somewhere around, all over the world, to save people's lives. They save the law enforcement and military users, and they save the people that they're having to apprehend or deal with in some, sure. They're not used when things are going well. Right. They're used in times of trouble. And we are the market leader in this position in these micro robots. We've sold over 5,000 mm-hmm. over the course of our time, and consequently, we get stories every day about how these products are used and have been used. And that's really gratifying. I mean, one of the things you need to look at when you are taking over a situation is can this business be saved? And a big part of that is the products. It's a huge part of it. These products are built to last. They're rugged. They're easy to use. Heck, if you stop by our booth, I can probably make you an expert in about 30 seconds on driving one of them. I'm not kidding. They're really easy to use, sure. and they just do their job. So the evolution, it's like any kind of companies we went up and back down, and now we're coming back up again. And it'll be we're adding resellers and stuff all over the planet. All over the planet, people are interested in our products.
Fantastic. Great to hear. And I understand you have perhaps a new partnership with Microsoft involving robots in smart cars?
Right. Last year we reached out to, or actually Microsoft came to us and said, we're establishing this patrol car of the future. And in the patrol car of the future, they have a what they call like a Go box that connects data streams and then transmits those up to the Microsoft cloud. It's called the Azure cloud. And our robots are in their patrol car of the future. We're able to show the live stream of the video and the audio that the robot is seeing, and it transmits then through their box up to the cloud, and then is available to be viewed at command centers, at operation centers, at whatever users might want to see that. So we've established that partnership. We're working on one with Taser, to where we would integrate. They have the body cameras,
right?
And that same video stream and data stream is captured by the camera, and the same data stream is transmitted to the same Microsoft cloud, and kept for evidentiary purposes, for additional investigative purposes.
Sure.
And so we hope that ours will be able to demonstrate. We've already demonstrated that it works, and we just need to commercialize that. And we're working with IBM, wants to do the same thing, take the data stream up to their Watson and maybe use facial recognition applications and all kinds of other interesting applications using that data.
Very cool. Well, and for anybody who tuned in earlier, when we had Dan Mallon up here from Equals3, he was talking about being an IBM partner and building on the Watson platform. So one last question for you, Mack. As you may be aware, we're doing a legislator panel coming up at 1 p.m. where we're going to have actual representatives and senators here talking about some of these implications and real-world rollout of how do you put policies in place that support and help build some of these technology areas. If you had anything on your policy wish list that you would really want to make sure a House member or senator heard today, what is something that you might think about?
From a legislative standpoint, all of our users in the U.S., be they law enforcement, the local level, state level, federal level, all need to get funding for the tools in their toolbox. And there's competing budgetary restrictions on the access to that capital. If these robots could be and should be in every patrol car in the U.S. Today, they're mainly used by the special forces groups, the SWAT teams, the bomb squads, the hostage rescue teams. They're more of a specialized tool, but they can be easily used by every patrol car in America, and really in every patrol car throughout the world. And that's part of what we're working with Microsoft to help initiate. But from a policy standpoint, it's easier to get funding for the canine unit. It's easier. We have sold robots to canine units to put the robot on the dog so the dog can be saved. Sure. So the dog gets more attention than the human patrol person, and that policy ought to change. That policy ought to change. We ought to value the life of the officer or officewoman more than the dog.
Right. Well, thank you. It was really a pleasure to speak with you. We appreciate you being here today, and we'll look forward to seeing you throughout the rest of the event.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'll grab that from you.